Hello guys, BJ the Brave here, back with an exciting new reveal for Warhammer 40k Warpforge. Now guys, we are literally days away now from the full release of Warpforge. For those of you like me, we've been playing the game for nearly a year now in early access, we've had lots of new releases, and to celebrate the game going into full release, we're going to get a whole range of lifestyle improvements, you know, just quality of life improvements, sorry, and I think that's going to be great. A bit of a facelift for the game, some of the kind of little tweaks that we've wanted, that's fantastic. But in addition, we are going to have a brand new faction. And it's not just any faction, guys. We're talking about the Imperial Guard, also known as the ASTRA MILITARUM. So this is a big one. This is one that a lot of people have been waiting for. The Imperial Guard are a lot of people I know from working at Games Workshop that from a lore perspective, that this is a very popular faction. For a lot of people, it's their favorite faction. And yeah, we are days away, guys. 3rd of October, we are going to be playing Imperial Guard or the ASTRA MILITARUM. So what I'm going to do for you today, very quickly, is just jump in and share with you 4 brand new cards that are coming to the faction, and also introduce one new mechanic that these cards have in common. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you about is this brand new mechanic, Regiment. Now, anybody who has played the Ork faction is going to find this one particularly easy to get their heads around. Very simply put, whenever another unit attacks using their range attack, it triggers the Regiment ability. So in Orkz, we have a rule called Mob, and it's exactly the same as Mob. The only difference is that Mob works when you attack with melee attack, whereas Regiment works when you attack with range attack. So I think that means that it doesn't trigger if you attack with the unit itself. So in this case, the medic. If the medic attacks, it doesn't trigger its own regiment, I believe, but it would trigger other troops' regiment. That's how Mob works. I'm pretty sure it's the same as that. Just bear in mind, for those who don't know, the Warlord does count as a unit. So whenever the Warlord attacks, that will also trigger Regiment. So here we go. We got the Cadian Medic. A 2-drop, 2/2 melee range attacks, 3 health. Regiment, heal 1 to a friendly unit. And again, friendly unit, that could be Warlord. It would heal 1. And if multiple units trigger this, that's multiple heals going on in the same turn. And of course it is heal, it's not give 1 health. So the nice thing there is, say you've got a board of like 3 units and they're at full health and they all attack, I believe that it will only obviously heal something that can be healed, so you can kind of predict a little bit where the heal's going to go. Guys, I have to say, I actually really love this card, because for me this is everything I want from a 2-drop, and I kind of hope to kind of that future design takes a bit of inspiration from this card, because if you look at the stats, right, it's like 2/2, it's pretty reasonable, it can't be cheated, early game, it's kind of, you know what you're getting, kind of similar to Warlord stats, but it has importantly that 3 health, which just means that if you're going to play this unit, your opponent Warlord can't just clear it automatically without investing something further, unless it's Swarm Lord, of course. Alright, so I really like this card. I think the design on this one's really cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it. I'm a big fan of heal in all sort of card games. I always like the kind of heal mechanics. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this card does. Let's move on to the Kasrkin now. The ASTRA MILITARUM Kasrkin says, also Regiment, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. If it dies, draw a card. Can you imagine what this is going to be doing to a Scarab board, guys? You're going to like fill your hand with heal and just, oh my god, it's going to be nasty. Yeah, it's a 3-drop. It comes with 4 health, so that's all automatically a good start. I quite like the stats on this one. It's interesting, like playing against it, it can be cleared, so like a 4-drop flanker would clear this quite nicely, especially with melee damage, but it actually has the free range, so if you do survive, it's not bad stats. So I think this is a good card as well, really interesting. Alright, next up, we have the Leman Russ tank. Now guys, I like the borders, by the way. Shout out to the artwork on the borders. I don't know what level this is, this border. I don't know whether I'm guessing this is a higher level than level 1, because there's quite a lot of detail on there. But anyway, the Leman Russ tank is a 7 energy cost unit. It comes with 7 health and 1 armor, kind of like the old Predator from the ultramarines. We've actually got 5/7, whereas the Predator now has got 4/7 on the stats. So we got really good stats, and I actually love the fact that this has got armor. The thing that made me most sad about the Predator nerf to the Ultramarines is that it lost its armor. Like, this is really beefy. I always like this type of build, and yeah, it's pretty scary. It can deal 7 damage itself, triggering Regiment, and this actually says Regiment deal 2 damage to a random enemy. So every time somebody attacks with their ranged, not itself, but every time something else does, then it's 2 damage. So that means that guaranteed on E7, if you don't have a board, you play this and your Warlord attacks, you're guaranteed to trigger 2 damage. I think that's really interesting. I think that's, you know, the Predator now does 3 damage every time it codexes. I think having slightly less damage but being able to do it multiple times, I think this is looking like a really solid card. It's also a rare card, so, you know, we'll be able to collect it relatively easily, and we'll be able to play 2 of them in the deck. Okay, and last but not least, guys, we've got my first stratagem, which is the Regimental Doctrine. Now, guys, this is saying for 3 energy, heal 2 to all your units and trigger their regiment abilities. So, in a pure regiment build, obviously this is going to be a super high payoff card. It looks to me like it's going to take quite a bit of lining up, and I kind of want to see how many units land in the regiment that are worth healing, so to speak. But you can imagine that you've got a bit of a board, you attack with everything, triggering Regiment. That means that they've now lost health. Then you play this card, they all get to heal back up, and then they trigger the regiments again. It could work. These cards in other factions, these type of cards haven't quite clicked, but I'm curious to see whether this is the first one where it does. And also bear in mind that when it says heal 2 to all units, that also heals 2 to your Warlords, and so that's quite important to bear in mind. Yeah, so that's everything, guys. That's my 4 reveals. Remember, this is all out on the 3rd of October. I have got a slew of material coming out. I'm going to be doing a mega stream, so if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, because you're not going to want to miss out on these announcements. I'm going to hopefully have a code for you guys and all sorts of other fun things planned, which I will reveal shortly. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reveal. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you on October the 3rd on Ladder playing some Imperial Guard. Take it easy.